Alrighty. As is every beginning, the beginning of every stream is a little bit of singing, mumbling, and alrighty. That's every single one. Wait, what do you mean 2? What does 2 mean? Oh, 2 copies in your Steam family library. This newfangled technology in Steam has been it's been interesting. My voice may be a little bit gravelly, but that's okay. Let's ensure my the underclock is going. I had to disable it quickly because I was doing things. Yeah, okay, go away. Hopefully I've got everything set up. Sometimes it's kind of hard to know. Oh, I haven't. Crap. I'm glad I looked around a little bit before I started doing anything. Yes, that is correct. Your encoding's not overloaded. You're lying to me. Don't lie to me, Walt. Ugh. So yeah. It's been a while. It's a little bit loud in my ears. I'd like to have that turned down a little bit. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a... It's been a second. Haven't been in Hollow Knight in ages, in forever, really. So, gonna be looking into this today. I had a lot of things going on, namely work. Been actually seeing if I can make some bloody money off of editing things. For a change, instead of just having a billion funny projects. Though I have been finishing a lot of those, a lot of the said projects. Been kind of cleaning up, because I've had some things on my desktop for bloody ages that I got to shove out the pipe there. So that was cool. Yeah, thumbnails bother me. AI bothers me, that's for certain. AI is I just wanted to use, like, the generative AI that's within Photoshop, but you can't access it without, you know, paying Adobe a lot of money, so didn't want to do that, and so had to deal with, you know, the entire process. Oh, I just realized I didn't have my, don't punch the mic. I just realized I didn't have my bloody, what do you call it, I haven't got all my water in here, which sucks, because I'm gonna run out of this water pretty dang soon. Yeah. Had to use I had to figure out how to get like a third-party plugin to be running AI locally, and that just sucked. So, anyhow, thumbnails are always my issue with posting anything to YouTube. It's just like, how am I gonna do this? But yeah, I was considering streaming and doing certain things, but you know, it's been a bit of a tumult. I had a lot of things going on for certain, but I've swapped up my my components a little bit. I fixed this bloody chair. Something I think I was talking on ranting on streams from like over a year ago about how annoying this chair has been to me, and so I fixed that. So that's kind of epic. But yeah, I have not been in this game in a very long time, and I think it's about time, really, truly, frankly. And I just realized I screwed something up. Hello? Why is it that I've got to bloody Alt-Tab in order to move my cursor off of this? Yeah, I screwed up. I can't have the chat showing up inside of me. Excuse me. That would be real rough. Okay. Yeah, I think I've learned a lot about editing, about my process, about lots of things, and so part of me is wondering because I'm considering kind of quitting, at least for the time being. Oh, right, I didn't even get past this one. That's what I was on last. It was probably a couple months ago. It's only been like 2 weeks since I last streamed, but I was doing all the Minecraft streams and whatnot. Oh. You know, it'd be actually really funny if I could defeat him. Oh, I forgot about that. Defeat him without any warm-ups or screw-ups or anything. Ah, see, had to curse myself. But yeah, I'm considering, because I took like a massive break from trying to make, what do you call it? My stream highlights and whatnot. I'm considering, like, I don't know. It's just when it comes to making money and whatnot versus, like, enjoyment. It's like, yeah, I've enjoyed, and it's taught me a lot, certainly, to be editing, editing those, and I've enjoyed the process, to a certain degree, but, the lack of ability to get paid to do it is certainly a concern there, so... I thought he was gonna screw me. Oh, of course he did. Oh, what? Sometimes the behavior... Oh! The controller died. I don't remember the last time I, well, yeah, no, I kind of don't remember the last time I changed the batteries on this thing. There's the tester. Yeah, this is fun. It's like I might make highlights again at some point, but when it comes to enjoyment and, you know, the time sink and whatnot, it's like, well, you know, gotta do things that at least make a little bit of money, right? So that's a bit of a challenge with that. So if I can ever really stand to invest all the time that back into it, or I don't know, pay someone to help me, to bloody help me out, but yeah, as of now, they're probably not going to continue. What in the world? This music is beautiful, by the way. Yeah, let's just put that one in positive. Is it just not making contact? There we go. That was weird. Nice. Great way to end that one. Hey, I got my rumble back. It feels a bit weak. We'll see how long it lasts. Yeah, for the past little while, I've just been trying to drain all of my bloody batteries. The wireless mouse that I've got, oh goodness. It's supposed to be rechargeable, but I think it's got issues with the charging ports and a couple of things. Oh, goodness sake. What I want to have is, I mean, I don't know, rechargeable is nice, I suppose, but what I want to have is a mouse that takes two AA's. Baka. Bruh. Oh, I thought it killed me. Bruh. Yeah, there's not a lot of mice that have, like, decent features, but also take 2 AA's. And I suppose rechargeability is a decent feature. Oh, goodness sake. If anything is going to use batteries, it should fully drain them, rather than, like, having to use them to a certain degree. And then it's just like, oh no, we're done now. What manufacturers should be doing is making stuff that, goodness sake, they know what the operating voltage of their device is, and they just need to undershoot that. And some of them do it well, some of them don't. I think they should just aim on, I don't know, making certain that they've calibrated it that way. Okay. See, I don't know if I'm maybe like a little bit sick. Piss off. My voice is a little bit gravelly. Bruh. Bruh. Bloody spacing. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, they need to... It's like you estimate your voltage, and then you give yourself enough battery so that that voltage can be constantly met, like, no matter what it is. So it's like, more efficient devices will hit it easier. But then, like... Oh, whoops. It would be cool to finally have a USB-C port on this bloody thing. Hollow Knight. Yes, based game. September 19th Epiphany. That's an interesting, well, what happened on September 19th? Is that the actual Seiya 2019? In the flesh, the actual. I feel like Adderall helps me work easier, but it doesn't help me stream easier, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it helps me play games better, but it seems to kind of tune me to, I don't know, not being able to get words, like, to my brain quickly enough. To my brain? Words from my brain, more like. Bruh. We love Hollow Knight. If that is the real Seiya, how are you doing? If that's how you say it, I don't know. I may just be a bit confused. Clearly I'm a bit confused, what with this performance and all. Bruh. Yeah, most technologies don't account for the proper voltages, and it bothers me. I can certainly say that much. I really kind of, I want to get, just so I can stop having to use AAAs, I want to get a bloody, they don't sell them anymore, though. That's the issue. At least I can't find them. There were these epic Duracell, flashlights that have, like, a billion bloody batteries that they take, and they all take, it's like, 12 AA's or something like that. And they're bloody bright. Yeah, that's the annoying thing about this mouse, is that it takes one AA, and it doesn't even drain it fully. Like, it just sits there. Like, it'll show, like, the low battery warning, like, really bloody early. And then, when it actually dies, quote-unquote, it's like, I don't know, it's dead in the sense that, you know, it hasn't got enough, enough voltage to perform its tasks in an operable manner. Crap, I hate that move. Bruh. Bruh, 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 bruh. Yeah, batteries bother me. That's to make a long story short. Like, the nice thing about Xbox controllers is that they will drain. Bruh. Like, they can do off of very little voltage. It's just the rumble dies out very, like, pretty quickly. Which is, like, okay, because it still does the rest of its feature set, but the mouse doesn't. I just wish, there was some kind of a way that I could have more of my stuff bloody, what's the word, like, they could just function and drain all of the batteries easily. I don't know. It'd be kind of sick if I could just combine all of the bloody power from all my batteries together, something like that. Just merge them. There's so many things that would just be cool, but, I don't know. Dreams are, the origin of, like, what, ideas? Creations? It all starts from a dream, doesn't it? Bloody stop! See, why did he have to start with that? That was literally like bloody frame 1. Come on. Cringe. Ugh. Anyhow. I probably am still gonna make the, I'm gonna make, like, TikTok shorts and whatnot whenever there's some sort of a funny moment that I think is worthwhile. But it's like, that takes enough time, and maintaining the VODs and whatnot takes enough time for, the lack of money that I make from doing it. It's like, I need to not be concerning myself with stuff that doesn't make money. I want to finish off a lot of these projects that I began. So it's like, I've got loads of highlights from, goodness sake. Ah, so spooky. Bruh. You know what you would... You know what would give you lots of money? What? What is that? Advertisement. Higher entertainment value. Being funnier or more talented. I don't know, I feel like I'm most entertaining under certain circumstances. Like, there's some situations where it's like, that was a really good stream, and then, but it seems to not happen so often. I don't know how to get in the zone like that. Drama content. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I really like drama all that much, all things considered. I'd have to go and become bloody pyrocynical, make a ton of slop. Bruh. I think too deeply to not spend like millions of years talking about any particular topic, I suppose. And it would be worse if it was my own drama. I don't know. Brr. Like, I enjoy, I don't know, I enjoy talking about things in general, and then, I don't know, digging into them, looking into them. I'm gonna get bloody hot. Give me water. Yeah. Where's the bloody, remote? Bruh, bruh. I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Just making bloody insane noises. You can talk about Lunchly, Mr. Beast? What is Lunchly? I was asked a couple weeks ago on stream what I was thinking about Mr. Beast, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know, it's kind of funny, my history on Mr. Beast was, like, the content is cheap and there's nothing respectable about it, I suppose, was my original, like, understanding, I suppose, of Jimmy. And I don't know, I'm just very, I think I started off as a naive person, and then I saw, like, I don't know, I saw some really cynical people, and I kind of looked up to that in a way. But then I was still kind of naive, and so then I got, like, really hurt, and then looking at sort of cynical content in many ways was, like, I don't know, I became cynical. It's like if you, they say scratch the surface of a cynic and you'll find a disappointed optimist. Bruh! That and his new and improved product, Mr. Beast Burger. I want burger. I need to just eat more steak. I don't believe I eat enough steak, frankly. Stop! Bruh! It's like actually the worst little progression there. That was his old product. Why steak? 'Cause tasty. I'm supposed to eat steak. I'm a dragon, it's what we do. Now, Chewbacca. What was I saying? Bloody, I don't know. Getting hurt a little bit and then turning cynical, then actually like finding a lot more meaning, I suppose. Oh, I forgot that I forgot that move does things to aerial people. It like sucks them into you. I could have also just like timed that poorly. Why don't you eat coal instead? Why would I do that? There's no nutritional value. That's why. But yeah, like, I used to just be cynical, and I was like, I don't care how much you're giving stuff to people, like, I read it very cynically. And it was interesting, I don't remember who it was, in like, probably bloody 2018 or something like that, maybe 2019, I'm not quite certain. I tweeted out, like I quote tweeted someone and basically said the same thing, where it's just like all this is a ploy to make money, and it shouldn't be respected. I don't know, that was like the gist of what I was thinking and what my thoughts on that were. But then I got quote tweeted by someone who said that he worked with Mr. Beast. I don't know if it was like, I don't know, I never managed to dig it up again. Like, I don't know if I ever took a screenshot of it or anything, but he had quote tweeted me again, and he was like, some people are just so ungrateful, and then he like told this story about how they gave away like a bloody a washing machine to an old lady or something like that, and I was like, I don't care if you, it's like, you didn't give me a washing machine, like, I don't care what you did about that. Well, so the reason why I was like, why are you calling me ungrateful for you giving someone else something? It was like, that doesn't make any bloody sense, but it was like, I was like, I don't think you're actually doing that because you care about the people, was effectively what I was saying. And the response was, yeah, you're so ungrateful. It's just like, you didn't give it to me. I don't know, see how grateful I am after you give it to me, but I think I just didn't understand it well enough. I listened to an interview, I believe it was Jimmy on the H3 podcast, and then I was like, oh, I see what he means about that, because I was critical for certain, but see, that was fine. It's facing the wrong bloody direction. But yeah, like listening to that episode, I kind of understood what Jimmy was doing a little bit more, where his heart was at and whatnot, and then especially looking at like just what he does in the videos, because it kind of started out like I went back and I had seen like a ton of Mr. Beast's old like bloody 2015 content and whatnot, and it was just bad. Like, it was just awful, really just bad content. And then, you know, because he started out with like the bloody fidget spinner stuff, or like, I don't know, roasting my fans type of deal. Dragons make fire, but it's like, why would we digest coal? Okay, listen, alright. But, what am I saying? Like, I don't know. I looked into, the old content, and then it was just like, I don't know, spinning a fidget spinner for 24 hours or whatever. It was just like numbers. Like, for a really long time, his content evolved into just big things, like how many Orbeez can we take to do whatever this is, or, you know, just large numbers, large feats, and I was just like, this is just like such toddler content. But I don't know, then actually seeing the humanitarian angle of the things he's achieved is like, yeah, you can't really disrespect that. Like, even if the content really is not very, I don't know, enjoyable by adults, I don't know, it seems to be very juvenile, or at least it intended for a very juvenile audience. Oh, the spacing. Oh, I should have swung like just a couple frames earlier. It wasn't bad for its time. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Everything exists in... in the context of whatever the time period is and whatnot. I don't know. I think I was just over it very early on. I wouldn't call myself like more highbrow when I was watching the older content, but I was like, this is just bloody lame. You didn't enjoy him saying Logan Paul for 24 hours? No, believe it or not. It wasn't too entertaining. That was basically his major claim to fame, though. I think I originally started seeing him because of those, and that was when the commentary community was still, actually was experiencing a bit of a resurgence, but it's more of like a de-evolution. I don't know, it's like, there was a lot of mutating going on, I suppose you could say. Bloody hell. And I remember people kind of talking about it, and there was an interesting little era there for a bit. It's like, first you see those, and then it's like, yeah, I don't know. Regardless, I think what he does, he's a net positive to the world as a whole, but I do think, his dealing with, I don't know. It's a complicated topic, isn't it? Were there any additional dramas that came up? Like, I haven't really stayed in the loop about whatever the bloody, whatever the things are. Like, I knew about the, Chris, I don't even remember. Chris Tyler, Christine or whatever. Chris Chan. I think his dealing with that situation was a little bit, I don't know. There appeared to be some, I don't know, a conflict of interest that was a little bit too much about, protecting a friend rather than, doing what's right. And it's like, you like it when protecting your friend and doing what's right overlap, but, obviously when doing what's right, means that you actually have to potentially do something to a friend that may hurt them, it becomes difficult and, I don't know, it becomes really difficult for people to see clearly when they're compromised in that sense. Really? Okay. Ah! Zoinks. Bruh. Nothing too much, just him promoting a Lunchables clone Lunchly to his audience, and KSI Logan Paul promoting it to all three huge YouTubers. Interesting. I saw, like, the KSI tweet that, I don't know, it was about, like, Dan TDM or whatever. Like, that's all that I saw. It was a bit of a drama, but... Like, I don't really see anything wrong with, I mean, depends on what the pricing is. I grew up with everyone around me eating Lunchables, but bruh. If you're looking for money, cover the topic. Well, I suppose so. No, I think my sights are better set on just bloody, It's either controversial, socio-political topics, with my ridiculous, like... I don't know, I don't want to be pretentious in saying that I'm like a deep thinker or anything, but like, I don't know. Bloody hell. I don't like having a shallow conversation about anything. And I think that's why drama doesn't necessarily appeal to me. So, I mean, everybody's got their own drama in life and whatnot, but I don't know. I don't know where exactly I belong in that symphony. I think I will be much better at breaking down, not breaking down, but doing some film analysis and whatnot, storytelling analysis. I don't know, because the most views I've ever gotten on my own content was, well, yeah, I suppose it, because, like, the one, like, bloody, when I was an aspiring, perhaps idiotic commentator. Bloody hell. Like, the video that I had made, I don't know, my commentary was appreciated within its own circle on bloody show. But like the most effective in getting views was about and actually I don't know, it was kind of like my reputation preceded me in those days with that, of like, oh yeah, you made the video just kind of documenting all of these all of this bad behavior by this this one individual and whatnot. It was like, oh yeah, you're the Minecraft guy, and I'm like, yup. It's actually the first thing that ever got me, like, bloody interviewed and everything on show news, and that's actually how I met, like, probably my two longest held online friends, I suppose. And it's not like we actually did anything productive on that bloody, from that bloody situation, but I still live in regrets that I never, I never had the hardware or much of the knowledge I've got now to be able to actually stream on that site. I don't know, it's like when all of the people go away from the platform, you kind of lose whatever reputation you had, because, like, I don't know, everything was sort of crumbling away. No social status, no followers anymore, because it's all gone and whatnot, but it doesn't have to appeal to you. You can just create a separate YouTube channel and piss out things you don't really care about but are popular at the time. I don't know, I think I'd rather relegate that to bloody YouTube Shorts or something. I could probably do it on Draconian Discourse, but I don't know, I prefer to have... See, the one thing that I was really toying with, there's some people on Twitter that I want to, I don't know, because, yeah, that's where I got off. I was talking about the bloody, when my own content, when my content, has become notorious, I suppose, is when it was either about or involving someone else's someone else's fan base, or you know, something that struck a little bit deeper, struck a chord, like a socio-cultural, socio-political kind of a topic. So my it was like my Minecraft video was the most effective thing, and I don't know, that only made it to like 800 views by the end, but obviously it was significantly irrelevant by the end of it all, because I made that in like bloody 2016 or something like that. But then in the past couple of months, I did my entire response to just some random furries ramblings in bloody VR chat, and that was popular, infamous, and famous, I suppose. But sort of along the same lines, I was thinking about, because I haven't had a lot of well, I've had basically nobody on Draconian Discourse that that I disagree with. I've just kind of been I've been responding to other people's things, which is a form of discourse in and of itself, but you know, just not sort of the discussions exactly that have as much depth, I suppose. So I was thinking it would be cool, it'd be kind of nice, it'd be kind of sick to go on Twitter and find some interesting characters. There's because like the entire thing was talking about sort of the gatekeeping of conservative furries from furry events, I suppose, was sort of the entire topic with that episode. Or I suppose that collection of episodes. So it was kind of an entire it was an entire thing, but it'd be interesting to find some, you know, conservative furries to talk to about to find where we disagree on things, or where we disagree, where we agree, and why, I suppose. You know, have some discourse with that. And I was thinking, like, what better place to start than bloody MAGA furry? So I think it would be interesting, in the very least, to kind of I don't know, there were a couple of tweets that I had seen, or some memes that were shared and whatnot, that I think went too far in the sense that, I don't know, there were some things that I definitely disagreed with in many ways. I don't know, perhaps temperamentally and whatnot, that I think there's some sort of perspective that would be interesting to have about that. Because I generally tend to just follow people who I find interesting on Twitter. And so it'd be interesting to actually speak with people I find interesting. But that's more of a, hey, there we go, finally. Ugh, that's more of sort of a, I don't know, what do you call it? A bloody creative endeavor, or I don't know, just not like highbrow. I don't know exactly what to call it. If you do kids content long enough, you'll eventually start gaining views. Well, that's almost certainly true. Yeah, it'd be interesting to go on and have a bit of an interview with someone. Either that I disagree. I don't know if the fellow whose video I critiqued and spoke on for I don't actually know. Did it actually end up being like 5 to 10 hours in total or something like that? Whatever it was like you know, I would be open to having a conversation with him. I'd be open to having a conversation with really anybody who wanted to, and I don't know, it would be fun to be able to bring people on just for the sake of like having the conversation. I don't know, I want to worry less about how successful it is than about, you know, how good it is. I don't know, it's interesting. I have to fill up my water here. Anyway, did that actually mean me? Yeah, it did. Okay. That's a funny thing, isn't it? Anyway. Back to this. Yeah, I think I don't know. I think I should not spend as much time on the highlights, but I also don't want to just leave them, like, I don't know, the fact that I started the files and that I actually did cut apart the original streams, so I have a rough cut, it just doesn't have any of like the edits that I want to put into it. Like the fact that I've already done that bothers me, because it's like, well, I'm leaving something unfinished and I don't ever want to leave anything unfinished. You know, I want to finish it so I can put it away up on the shelf, categorize it, you know? What if you called him out, but in a more mean, insulting way, than upload the clips on YouTube Shorts? I don't want to say anything that I don't mean. I had a script for a YouTube Short that I wanted to make that was, I don't know, YouTube Short, TikTok, that I know would be interesting to people. And I started, you know, making the script and whatnot, but it was just, it was not truthful enough. Like, I think what I was arguing for in sort of a secular manner was good, but I think it was too, it was too frustrated. It's like, bruh. Like, I don't want to have... I don't want to put more of me out there that isn't cognizant of, I don't know, of the truth. And it's sort of like, draconian discourse, like, a lot of the idea with that is sort of come learn with me, in a way, where it's like, I don't want to, like, edit things to bits, or, I don't know, to leave any bit of it sort of, to leave any stone unturned. And it's like, I just want to use it as sort of a platform for discussion, either with myself or with multiple other people. Like, the trouble is, people like seeing people get a comeuppance, or they... I don't know, they're not exactly happy, but they're enthralled by the fact that there is somebody who disagrees with them in a way that makes them think that they are the enemy. And the enemy must be focused on. That is kind of a, I don't know, kind of sentient life form, bloody like human universal moment there, where it's like, well, I have to use my consciousness in order to make sense of what I believe could be dangerous to me. And it's like, I don't want to hijack that just by granting myself a personal catharsis over beating someone else senseless verbally because of all of the wrong that they were. And it's like I think I've done that, or at least displayed that that attitude enough. Like, I don't want to be angry. I want to be thoughtful, I suppose. And I don't want to be kind of relegating people to like the trash heap of society because they said something that really just sounded like bloody cultural Marxism. It's like I want to be able to say, okay, where is the truth in what you are seeing? All right. Where is the falsehood in the conclusion that you draw from it? All right. Like, I want to be able to kind of balance that in a way that actually is convincing to the people who, I don't know, it will be certainly satisfying to the people who would agree, but it would also help people understand for the people who don't, in a way that doesn't muddy the waters even further. It's like, do we need to have more blood in the water, or should we just sort of take a more, as careful approach? I don't know. Well, you called out someone for their own faults, and what they did at the time was pretty stupid. Is it wrong for you to call them a stupid piece of shit? They deserve to be locked up in a prison for the rest of eternity? I don't think so. Eternity is a long time. Like, I don't know. I think, I don't know, I've been thinking of, the psychoanalytic aspect to, people don't have ideas, ideas have people. And ideology is kind of just the over-application of one principle that, kind of reigns supreme in the mind of one person. And, you can go up to like, I don't know, you go up to them and you stimulate them with whatever the topic may be, and it's like bruh. It's like cranking a handle on that pokes out the side of their head, and then you crank it and out spews the ideology. It's like I don't want to contribute more to that. And I think I've done it. I think I've been possessed by ideology at times as well, but it's like I don't see anything sort of productive in that. I don't see it as very satisfying. Like, you can certainly point out, hey, these people are bloody wrong, and here's why, but in a way that is fair, and in a way that is not like, because the human mind and the way that it's mapped onto the body, from the psychoanalytic, I suppose the psychoanalytic literature, our understanding of reality from a psychoanalysis is that, bloody hell, human beings see the world in terms of tools and obstacles. How does this thing help me go forward, and how does this thing get in my way? And that maps directly onto our body, directly onto the body, and you sort of just automatically respond to it in kind, because if you actually had to think about it and assess it in the moment, then you wouldn't be able to act in a way to sustain your survival, or to complete whatever task that sustains your survival. So it's like, you've got to just respond to it as quickly as possible. So it's like, when somebody threatens your way of life, or that you perceive that as a threat to your way of life, in a sense, you immediately see them not as a human being anymore, but as an obstacle. Like, you know, someone cuts you off as you're driving, and you don't say, you know, I wonder why that person thought that that was an okay thing to do. That is something that happens after you reflect a little bit on you know, on what happened. It's like, why would you think that's okay? In the immediate moment, you know, especially if you're a bit of a rager, a road rager. And I love shouting in my car. It's very stimulating. I really enjoy doing it. I think we have to do that to a degree. I think there's some times where you need to shout. Otherwise you keep a certain part of you non-satiated and you die. I think swear words are kind of similar, honestly. It's like... But I think that's something that you shouldn't really be doing in public. Like, I think it's something that you ought to be doing in a place where nothing that doesn't deserve... I suppose nothing that doesn't deserve or can't stand to... Why does it do that? Sometimes that hitbox just gets bloody extended. Nothing that doesn't deserve or can't withstand your the poison that you're about to spew will be in view of it. Because I think how tight you keep that part of yourself closed up is reflective of your character. It's like, I could be really mad about things, and I could be doing that in a way that's cathartic and that, you know, aligns with my sort of perspective of the truth and whatnot, but at the same time I don't think I could, because that doesn't align with my perspective of the truth. Like, in my eyes, I don't think it's really okay to take your anger out on people who don't deserve it, especially when they're also trying to kind of do the same thing. They just have a different perspective than you, and perhaps that perspective is bloody dangerous. Like, I'm not denying that that's a possibility, and perhaps that perspective really does need to be kind of slammed with as much of an intellectual fervor as possible, but you don't want to cause... You have to make a good case, and I think making a good case requires keeping a level head. Because if you don't keep a level head, you will just say whatever things feel most satisfactory to you in the moment, and then you might be kind of playing a couple of tricks on them. And it's difficult because you actually have to keep... Bloody hell. You have to keep part of your biological substructure at bay a little bit, because it really is just clawing away, right? Like, it's like, let me at him, like, I want to destroy this MF or whatever, and, you know, it's an understandable instinct. Like, rage is not an instinct that is at all unfamiliar to me or my people. But... bloody hell. I don't know, I don't think it's... I think I would be hijacking other people's, you know, biological substrate in a way that is not fair to them, in a way that actually is very distressful to them. I think if I am going to confront them with an understanding that they haven't got, I better be doing it in a way that does not make me, worse of a person, I suppose? I don't know. Like, you can say things boldly and you can state the truth, and you should state the truth boldly, as bold as it is. I don't know, sometimes it's bold to state the truth because some people really don't want to actually see that, but, you know, it should be done, but it shouldn't be done in a way that... There shouldn't be scapegoating, and there shouldn't be, I don't know... Like, they say, what do you do with a liar? If there is a liar among you, let him speak so he can make himself known. Like, it's like, I don't have to make someone else look the bloody fool. Like, if they deserve to look the fool, it's out of their own actions and not the way that I framed their actions. I mean, that's part of the reason why the structure in Draconian Discourse is the way that it is because I don't want to be taking anybody out of context and editing their words out of sequence and in a dishonest way, even if that... I knew that attack was happening. Even if that can be satisfying, like, in the moment, it's just, I don't want to be doing that. And I don't want to say anything that I don't know to be true. And I want to be able to be honest about what I recall about... I don't know, you want to kind of show your hand a little bit, because then it helps you understand where to put the cards better. Like, I don't think, I don't know, because you can certainly play that game where it's, you know, it's game theory, it's a mind game of sorts where, you know, you're debating and you need to hide the ball for a little bit and you need to trick someone into saying something or whatever, like, I don't know. There are honest ways to play that game. And that's why that's why we bloody why do you do that? That's why we identify, lists of logical fallacies. It's like, this is why we learn to spot them, because it's like, hey, that's cheating. It makes you feel good, but it's not an effective argument. It's like you gotta focus on what's relevant and what's true, what actually factors in bloody mathematically to whatever the case may be. So it's like, I don't know. I don't want to say things that make me feel weak. And if you don't think that lying makes you feel weak, try to only tell lies for a week and see how strong you feel after it, right? Like, no. I don't want to do that. Perhaps I've done it before, but, you know. It's like you just want to sort of hold back that, that instinct for when it can make itself known without being damaging, I suppose. You can use that. Let's say you upload a short of someone and you don't have the full context. The person then makes a video on you and his entire argument is based on the YouTube short, not the full video. You then proceed to call him out on his video for only watching the short. Well, I suppose so. Like, I don't know, I prefer, there's part of the reason why I don't think the shorts are really the right forum for this kind of discussion. Like, bloody hell, I didn't have the cloak back. I don't know, like, the shorts should at least be able to stand to reason, right? Like, if somebody doesn't have enough context in the short, because I think the way that you framed it was as if I didn't provide the sufficient context. And it's like, well, you didn't watch the full video that I was talking about. It's like, well, I don't know, the short should be able to stand on its own, to whatever degree, but there are some situations where you can't be as detailed. Well, like, you can't just, you know, say all that there is to say on any given topic in one bloody YouTube short, right? Why? It's like he just randomly froze up. I don't know. I don't really want to duke it out with people, I suppose. I don't know if you linked the full video in the shorts comments. Yeah, I suppose so. You don't need to duke it out. Yeah, I suppose not, but... just move on? Perhaps. I don't know, it'd be nice if it was possible to have conversations with people about controversial topics. Bloody hell. There was a video that I responded to that I won't go into detail. I didn't respond to it like publicly, but I thought it was a very interesting video because it was just very indicative of a certain attitude, and so I kind of broke it down with the psychoanalytic tools that I'm familiar with from an archetypical standpoint in many ways. I don't know. Like, I don't want to make people more sensitive. Like, there are some things that you can do in speaking the truth that if people are sensitive and they see that as something that they need to retreat about, then they should absolutely just have to come to terms with the reality of it all. Like, safe spaces are the most damaging bloody thing. And any psychologist or psychiatrist worth their salt would tell you that. So it's like, you know, I want to be able to speak the truth, but at the same time, I don't want to go out of my way to say something that is offensive unless there's a point to it. I don't know. Like, if the point is comedy, then there's a lot that you can say because you understand, like, the point, but I don't know. I suppose it's complicated. They're the ones making themselves sensitive. Yeah, that's certainly true. It's like, if I say something that's just, you know, factually true and they're offended at it, then, you know, that's on them. If there's something that they really should... I don't know, the type of thing that it's not okay to be sensitive about. Like, the video in question was about, it was in VR chat, and these people were so sensitive because of the bloody phantom sense that if somebody walked through them, they would bloody, just transform into the dragon of chaos, the devouring mother, and it was just this bloody Reddit situation. Oh, I'm the owner of the server, you don't want to mess with me. And it was like, it's like if you are so sensitive that you actually consider somebody to have physically harmed you because their avatar walked through you in a bloody, like, video game of a social situation, that's a great way to get nobody to want to go near you. And you can see the makings of that in the video, because there's another person who's saying, yeah, I also got yelled at for doing that, so you better watch out. And like, what that basically says is avoid this person at all costs. They're not worth trying to be in the same bloody room with you. And it's like, I don't know, you get banned from that instance and whatnot, and it's like, what you guys are doing is you're infantilizing yourselves because you don't like... What he did is he said, I don't know, it just sounds kind of silly, doesn't it? It seems kind of silly, and he gets banned for it. And it's like, if you can't take somebody calling your behavior silly because they are treating your avatar and its physical distance to somebody as an actual physical threat that caused pain, it's like, I don't, like, you are infantilizing yourself to the degree that, there is fresh hell in real life all over the world. I mean, I don't even know if you necessarily have to walk a bloody mile to find it, depending on where you live. So there are some places where hell is a little bit difficult to find, or at least it's not out in the open. Hells preside in inside people's homes, but you know, if you want to find someone in that state of being, all you have to do is go to your nearest city and find a homeless person and just watch them for a bit. It's like you notice that, like, people don't want to see homeless people. They don't want to make eye contact because, you know, it's not pretty being homeless. That's hell. It's like, you want to know what hell is like, you know, watch them for a little bit, or maybe make eye contact, maybe interact with them, maybe encounter that to a degree, like explore that to a degree. It's like that is a pit, you know, pit of despair. It's like that there are many people who seek to unleash whatever hell they exist in on other people, and if you can't stand somebody calling you silly for doing something that truly is bloody silly, then, like, the moment you actually see someone who truly wants to inflict hell on you, it's gonna be over. Like, you are going to die. You're gonna develop PTSD, and I don't know. It's the funny thing, like, I think most people, perhaps more disagreeable, people low in openness, high in conscientiousness, tends to be a conservative temperament. They tend to see, I don't know, they tend to hear people talk about how they've got PTSD, and they're like, what are you talking about? Like, or I don't know, they roll their eyes, and it's not as if they don't actually have PTSD. Like, objectively speaking, you know, I'm not a psychiatrist, I can't say when people don't have PTSD, it's just they're getting things that are not worth having PTSD over. But I think it's because of the devouring mother, the bloody evil queen. It's like, we need to save everybody from the things that might hurt their feelings in the slightest, and it's just like, no, that's how you make people capable of survival. Like, you need to be able to deal with people being mean to you. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be frustrating as you learn, but, like, you need to be able to deal with it. Otherwise, you're not going to be ready to deal with any of the rest of the hell that is out there. That's bloody annoying. If you call someone a moron even and they're making a video on you, it's the internet, you know? Yeah, that's true. How many times have you battled this dung beetle, if that's the correct instack? Yeah, he's something like that. I don't know, I've probably battled him like bloody hundreds of times. Because, you know, there's these 3 different fights and they get more difficult because the amount of damage you're allowed to take decreases. But then I've also fought the bloody dream version of him I've fought a billion times, and so it's like, yeah, well, this is the dream version. So I fought him 5 times up until this attempt at the Radiant one. In this room, just in this room alone, I have fought him. I have defeated him 5 times, I should say, but I've bloody defeated him in both the dream form and in the game many times previous to that. So the amount of times I've actually fought him is insurmountable. I don't know if I've got a total on that. If I make eye contact with a Cali homeless person, I might end up in hell. Yeah, no, that's exactly what the fear is, right? Because you think they're going to reach me out and they're going to pull me down, like hell is going to spring out to me. It's like, I don't want to look, you know, that in the eye, you know, because you're not really looking at a person anymore. And I don't know, if that sounds insensitive, then I don't know if you've ever seen a homeless person, right? Like, vast majority of homeless people are truly in hell as a state of being. It's like, there is nothing but misery there, nothing but torment and, you know, torture and it's like, that's why people don't want to look that in the face, is because there's nothing but chaos about that. And they think what little order that there may be about it is going to be used in order to bring more people down into the, you know, the depths of whatever fresh hell resides in their minds. So it's like, you know, like that's what that is. Doma Doma Doma, yep. That's the way he be. Dream version, yeah. It's the bloody, you can swap, so now he doesn't have the bloody particle effects anymore. That's what it is. The dream versions of the fight are done, it's like you're fighting their bloody soul or something. I don't know. So yeah, the dream version is the white defender, but the original version... Oh wait, this isn't the right version. I can't end the fight early. Whoa! Sent me the wrong direction. Wait, is that the right version? Isn't it? Why did I think the background was white? Anyhow. I don't know. I want to be speaking to meaningful things, and I don't know, perhaps speaking to, like, directly to the person. And that might be some, there may be some bold things to say with that, but, you know, it's kind of an extension of the bloody principle. You know, the principle of, what do you call it? You've got, zoinks. Got some bloody damage in that. Like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. I think it's like... I think that principle... Wow, there was like a frame freeze there. It froze for a little bit of just a moment there. But that's a lame principle? Well, I don't... Like, I think that principle is extracted out of something. If you don't have anything true to say, don't say it at all. Like, don't say anything that makes you feel weak. And I think, I don't know, I think playing cheap tricks with people makes you feel weak. Because you're not operating in accordance with the truth. And I think that's how ideologies grip people, and that's how, I don't know, truly evil things are done. And perhaps that's how a lot of good things are done at the same time, but... Regarding opposition as your enemy is troublesome. Bloody hell. Like, because, you know, what I was saying about obstacles, it's like when someone cuts you off, it's like, that's that arsehole cutting me off. It's not like that's a person anymore. Like, your brain is not, it's not just your brain, like, the way that your brain maps it onto your body is interpreting that as an obstacle. And I mean, you'll do the same thing, probably most often you do it with family members. It's like, you and all of the obnoxious things that you do, you know, it's just nothing but obstacles. And it's like, you have to focus on, goodness sake, you have to focus on obstacles, but, I don't know, like... Like, yeah, I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not something that I would necessarily expect everybody to be able to do, but I think if not enough people can be civil, then eventually it becomes disintegrating and people can't coexist with each other. And when people can't coexist with each other, they have to erect up boundaries, and if those boundaries cannot be erected, and then now they have to make the choice of, do I have to coexist, or do I have to protect my way of life against this person and their intrusions? You know what they're gonna pick, like, obviously. And that's when you go to war. It's like, we don't have enough agreed upon principles for us to be able to coexist, and so it's like, if I want people to believe in the divinity of each individual, then I have to believe in that myself. And in order to believe in that myself, it's not just thinking that that is the case. If you truly believe something, then it imposes an action upon you. It's like, there's a difference between wanting to believe and believing. And I think most people who say that they believe or think that they believe something they want to believe, but they don't truly believe it. Because if you truly believed it, then you would act it all out. Which I think is the truth in what Nietzsche said when he said that the only true Christian died on a cross. It's like, you know, it's an ideal to what do you call it? It's something to aspire to, but perhaps that's all you can do is aspire to it. And it's about, you know, wanting to believe and understanding that if you truly believed it, you know, you'd be doing something about it. So it's like, you know, if I believe in the divinity of the original, or at least if I want to believe in the divinity... Did I say original? If I believe in the divinity of the individual, then... Or at least if I want to believe in the divinity of the individual, then I have to treat each individual as though there is something divine in them. And that does mean that I don't let them say anything that is untrue without, you know, some sort of... what do you call it? Bloody contradiction. It's like, I'm not going to let that stand. I'm not going to let you say that, because it's not true. And when you say something that's not true, you weaken yourself. And I'm not going to let you do that to yourself or to others. You know, you don't get to operate in that fashion because, you know, not because it doesn't protect my view of the world or whatever that may be, but because it will weaken you as well. And if you as an individual are divine, then I should treat you as though you are, then I must not allow you to continue to say things like that. So it's like, you don't necessarily have to be nice in sort of the colloquial sense in order to treat individuals as though they are divine. Oh! We moved directly below me. That was a pretty decent run. We're gonna have to deal with Watcher Knights next. That's gonna be great. Yeah, and I haven't even defeated all the Pantheons yet. This is gonna be fun. I'm considering streaming FNAF 2, but on Yuzu, the Nintendo Switch emulator, because that version has got, it's got, you know, better controls. Well, it has controller support, I should say. Because I didn't ever finish the bloody 7th Night. Dumb game. So I do want to kind of play that. I'll probably play as much as is required in order to get through the 7th Night. So maybe I'll just be replaying it all again. Maybe I'll figure out how to get it so that I can, that I don't have to run through that entire thing on stream again. I don't know, it goes pretty quickly, especially, wow, especially when I've got, what do you call it? When I've got controller support. I never see you play horror scary game. It's been I don't know, it's been a while. But we, I was playing Outlast, yeah, I finished my playthrough of Outlast that I started, like, 2020 or something like that. Before I had my stream set up. Actually, I was on a totally different PC. There's a lot that was different. I think the only common part I have between this PC and that PC is the SSD. And maybe not even that, actually, now that I think about it. Either way. But yeah, I played FNAF 2... yeah, I guess it was late last year. It may have been an entire year since that. FNAF 2 isn't really a horror game, it's more of a... Did you see that? Did you bloody see that? How would... It's like his stupid, it's like the ball regards it as a wall or something, and then it thinks that it has to bounce off of it. I finally found another bug in the bug game. Oh, bloody hell. Yeah. I'm good at that game. Also, FNAF on PC is... part of it's the engine. The engine sucks, sure. But part of it is also the way that it's implemented. It's the video backend. And for some reason, it's like games... The first game is bloody like 640 by 480, so that sucks. And if you have it in full screen, it shoves all of your other screens to match the same, like, what do you call it? The same, like, DPI, like it scales it all. And it's obnoxious. Bruh. So I actually don't know how I don't remember. Okay, because I had whatever my secondary monitor was on the right. I do remember that. I'm trying to remember how I streamed that, but however I did it, I don't know. The game is dumb. And it's because Scott never decided to go back and, like, rebuild the game in any meaningful way when it comes to bugs. He's just like, no, I'll just work on whatever the next one is. And it's like, don't. Like, please don't. The only time he ever went back into those was when they were putting them on consoles. And so the Nintendo Switch version has a pause button, a couple of extra features, and moreover, controller support, and as an... Well, yeah, the big reason I want to do it is because of the controller support, because there was too much about the point-and-click environment that was causing me to screw up a lot of the more difficult aspects of that. Though I don't know if the Switch version actually changes anything about the difficulty of that night. I don't know if it does. I think the AI is unchanged. But either way, I gave up on it, and I was like, I just don't think I'm ever going to finish that. It's like, maybe I'll do one more stream trying it, just to give it, you know, the... Goodness sake, the like, college try, but... Scott Cawthon or Notch? Who's the better developer out of the two? Well, I can practically guarantee that Notch is, more, mathematically gifted, more linguistically gifted when it comes to at least Java. Though, I don't know, the state of Minecraft has been, I mean, for forever that modern graphics just don't really jibe too well with it. I wish Minecraft stayed indie, because now it's super bloody corporate. Ah, yeah, see, I knew he was going to do that. I killed all the poop. All the dung. Ah! Bloody spacing. I know I was close on that one. Yeah, part of the reason why I just went back to, I don't know, a lot of the games that I was streaming became very grindy, so obviously we've got this game and it's like, you know, that's pretty grindy. Like, I really enjoyed playing through Outlast, bloody hell, Outlast and Outlast 2. I finished Outlast, played through the, what do you call it, the DLC Whistleblower, and then played through Outlast 2, and it's like, you know, the game... I don't know about Outlast 2 in retrospect. Like, the first game has a lot of things wrong with it, for certain. I think the second game suffers from a lot of the same decision... Why? Same decisions, developmentally or otherwise, but either way, they were fun experiences, to be sure, especially Outlast 2 being completely fresh to me, whereas Outlast 1 and the Whistleblower were, why did I do that? Those were, I'd already seen them, but yeah, I want to be able to be playing games that are a little bit more like that, and so I, you know, played through Subnautica, you know, did the achievement hunt on that, and Below Zero, which was eventful. I guess I should just say it's eventful. That's a lot more of a glow up, but why was Outlast 2 not good in comparison with the other first two? If anything, it's better, honestly. The first one is not good in many ways. It's certainly entertaining, but to call it a good game is really stretching it. And it doesn't take away the enjoyment. I mean, in many ways it actually increases the enjoyment, because some of the goofy things that they've got, what is it, I was mucking about with something in Outlast 1, maybe in both of them. Some of the goofy things that they've got, of course. The first two had a better atmosphere, more or less. Yeah. I think the idea behind it all was what people appreciated with the way that it was executed. Like, not the idea that was presented in the like teaser trailer and whatnot, because that the vision that they had, bloody hell, the vision that they had originally was vastly different from the game that they delivered on, and that's not always a bad thing. I mean, look at the alphas for Hollow Knight and Cuphead. Like, those were very, very different in scope and in performance and whatnot. Hollow Knight started out being coded from scratch. Like, that was really impressive when they swapped to Unity, because the graphical backend within Unity is far more powerful than what most people can, you know, conjure up. Just doing things from scratch, though, you know, that can still be a very effective method Undertale is an example of that, coded from scratch. I actually don't know what Undertale... Bloody hell! I don't know what Undertale was coded in. I know this was done in bloody code blocks. I'm pretty sure it runs on C#. Because that's what they've got in Unity. Why did I do that? I seriously don't know why I did that. But yeah, I think sort of the idea of a massive disaster, you know, playing out in... Why? You know, just kind of explosive disaster going on at an asylum, and, you know, the leadership of the asylum are, you know, crazy, you know. Like, I think a lot of that is really, really, enticing in many ways. But, mechanically speaking, it's very cheap with the jump scares. Like, from the horror standpoint, the jump scares are cheap, the AI is rubbish. You can look at some of my old YouTube shorts, some of my first YouTube shorts that I put up. I was mucking about with Chris's AI. Because there's so many things that they didn't expect the player to do that makes it very, very easy. Me and my autistic brain, I'm bloody hell. No active frames whatsoever. I don't get any. I'm like specially tuned to find all of the ways that I can break the game. And the second game is certainly far more stable. Like, that's for sure. They had a, you know, a larger crew working on it. They had, I think, some better bug fixing methods, but I still managed to break the hell out of that game. I don't know, my brain, like, I think I would be very good. I was actually recommended to become a bug fixer, alpha beta tester at a local game studio. Local-ish, I don't know, it's in my state, a couple cities away. Because I apparently, I knew somebody who knew somebody who worked there, and it was like, hey, yeah, maybe you could check out to see if this is something you could do. And it's like, yeah, I broke Outlaws 2 by somehow finding a way in one of the dream scenes, because I want to explore, like, every inch of what's in front of me. And I want to play with where the borders are in terms of, it's like, oh, what if I do this? What if I do this? And there's just so much that the developers did not account for in terms of detail, attention to detail with AI, where it's like, what if they do this? You know, what if they go down this path that, goodness sake, that we didn't design the game to be able to account for. Maybe we should design it to account for something like that. And maybe rather than, you know, boarding it up in a way that makes it boring and hand-holdy, then we can reward sort of creativity in our players rather than punishing it, you know. Why? I don't know, for me, finding a bug is a reward in and of itself, but obviously it's very immersion breaking when you can literally fall out of the map in a cutscene. And I think that was actually one of the most egregious things that I ran into in that game, but in the second game in particular. But the first game is not as mechanically sound in many ways. I'm having trouble remembering what my gripes were with the second. I don't exactly remember. But either way, it was fun to play those games. Whereas a lot of the stuff that I've been doing, well, that I had been doing before I decided to finish up Subnautica Below Zero, was super grindy. Although that game is a little grindy too. I feel like that game doesn't have enough guidance. Not even necessarily guidance, it's just navigation. It's like, I don't know. There's a lot of problems that the game introduces that I think they've created a lot of good quality of life fixes into there, but Doma Doma Doma. Okay, now we hit all of the bloody fun stuff. Oh, I thought he was gonna take me out with that. Oh, that was good timing. There it is! There it is! We got it. We bloody got it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Do I dare challenge the next bloody guy? Oh yeah, because these are all the dream enemies. Wait, I still haven't gotten these ones? Are these ones that are in the Pantheons? I still forget. I don't want to do this one again! Oh, I don't want to do this one again. Because it's like, you also get to do Nightmare King Grim. It's like, no, I'm good. I do have Dash Master on. Why did I have that on? Let me look at my charms. I'm gonna take a peek at this. Did I think it necessary? Because I think what I prefer to have... Well, yeah, but... I don't know, Dash Master is good. Does strength apply in here? I actually don't recall. Oh, no, I don't think it does it? See, I don't remember what exactly I liked in this. No, not that one. I don't know, just long nail, bloody, this one, and then Mark of Pride. I think that tends to be pretty good. I should probably, head out relatively soon. Did I finish all that were on the... Ugh. I don't recall if I finished all of these. Oh, right, I don't have the funny charm on. Oh yeah, that was the last one in that row. That sucked. Because I had just defeated... No, that one... I mean, it didn't suck as much, but I had just defeated him like 5 billion times in his dream fight. I don't know. I suppose we'll see the Watcher Knights. We'll give them a go. Oh, whoops. Oh, right, they don't take knockback, do they? That's right. Oh, wait, you can't... They fixed that. That was a good strat before. Ugh. I'm so used to the other guy. Ugh. See, it's always... Because it's like, the attuned one is literally just the original fight. That's interesting. Oh. And I'm taking double damage because I'm bloody overcharmed! What a prick. Are they on a time limit? Ah! Quit it. I didn't know you were gonna do that. Is it just me, or is this quieter? Ugh. Oh. Ah. Come on. These guys are difficult enough. Come on. Oh, I don't have any... I was just hopping right in front of him. Oh, come on, buddy. Come on. It is more quiet. Yeah, see, I wonder if it's just the fight, because it... Maybe it's because he's not speaking as much. Well, these guys don't speak at all. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of funny. Rain. Yeah, you did mess. You did mess that up a little bit. Rye. Oi. What am I doing? Which one gets it? This one. Don't stand in front of him. Ah! Oh, come on. What bug is your main character supposed to be? This is called a vessel. I don't... That's what it's called in-game. I don't know if there's any particular species they're based off of. They're certainly beetle-like, but a lot of the bugs in this place are beetle-like. I don't know. That was pretty good. It's like, I could heal, but I want to be used to not doing that. Oh, wait, though. Would they still give me the chance to heal, technically? Stop it. Hey, look at that. I meant to go the other direction. They're just doing the same bloody attack. Ah! I don't know which one I did. Are you a bug? Well, I'm a dragon, but, I don't know what the character is. You can certainly call it a bug. Like, I don't know what else it could be. Oh. I didn't mean to parry, which makes things a little bit confusing when you do. Ah! In fact, there always gotta be bloody two of them. I meant to bloody shadow... Go-go. There it is. I swear... Is there something bugged about... Yeah, bugged, huh? Funny. Is there something bugged about this particular form of the fight? Like, I swear it's super quiet, and sometimes the sounds are like, really loud. See, wait, if I'm out here... Yeah, it's the fight. You aren't a dragonfly. Absolutely not. I suppose if I were one, maybe. If I were to be a bug, I could possibly be that. I don't know. I don't know if dragonflies are aptly named. Ah. Wrong way. Just stop. He fainted me. Bruh. Bruh, 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 bruh. Why didn't they get their own theme? Christopher Madigan? Tell me that. Yeah, it starts out... It starts out at like a normal volume, I swear. And then it just gets quieter the more Watcher Knights are on screen. Oh, I think it's the sound that they make, the rolling. Ah, come on. Very nice. See, in the original fight, all of the unanimated ones in the background have soul, so you can actually dream nail them. At least they used to, because I swear I've seen that in a speed run. Oh, they're in sync. That is powerful. Oh, bloody hell. It's doing pretty well on that one. Yeah, we'll see if I can't at least get the attuned boys by the time the night is through. There it is. Yeah, it seems like it's a pretty good investment, actually, to heal during those. Obviously not going to be worth it in the final fight, but... Imagine you could actually have more than 2 of them out at the same time. Ah, come on. It's like the infection can only possess them for so long. Why are they possessed by infection? Weren't they placed here to protect the thing that is literally keeping the protection alive? Oh, the infection. Oh, wait. It was supposed to be... The Watcher was supposed to be one of the boys that was... We good? We done? There were still corpses in the background. See, I did it. I did it. The infection was supposed to keep... No! I hate it when this happens. I'm just gonna tank it. The infection was supposed to keep, the Hollow Knight was supposed to keep the infection at bay, but the infection, got loose. So it would make sense if the infection was attacking you so that you wouldn't release the infection fully from the Hollow Knight, because the Hollow Knight wasn't actually doing his job. So technically, it does have a vested interest in keeping the seal on there. Bloody hell. Nice. Where do you go when you die? Well, that's a pretty metaphysical question, I must say. Well, these are dream fights, technically, because I'm in the God Home, which is in, like, a... I don't know, it's in the bloody astral plane or something, so... I actually don't know what they call it. But yeah, it's in another... It's in a dream realm. It's in a realm you go when you go to sleep. So... I don't technically die in these, I just wake up from the fight. Whereas when you die in... For goodness sake. When you die when you're actually alive, you go back to... wherever you lost rested at, so at a bench. It's like Dark Souls. It's like a fire in Dark Souls or whatever. That's not what I meant to do. Bruh. My invincibility. Where do you go when you die in real life? Does anybody know? That's the question. There was apparently some kind of a bloody, like, CIA experiment or something that was done where they figured out some sort of technology to be able to hack into the brain's visual cortex when you're asleep, well, at any point in time, so they effectively could record what the visual cortex was displaying, so they could actually see what people were seeing. And they could record it. And so they had someone do that when they were sleeping. This is like a massive conspiracy theory. It's like this alleged stuff. Ah, I did the thing again. But like, then he learned how to astral project, so he could just like bloody send his soul wherever, and they sent him out to try and spy on people, and he tried to spy on somebody because it was supposed to be like a non-detectable camera is what it was supposed to be, that was operated by a single person. So it's like you transmit the data of somebody who's astral projecting back into the well, it's going to be showing up in the visual cortex still, but you transmit that data, plug a capture card into the bloody brain, and then see that, and then you can fly around wherever you want, and you can see things and record things whenever you want. This massive pipe dream of an idea, like absolutely fascinating stuff if it were actually real. It's a big if true moment, because then it would mean that technology was being hidden from us. Hidden from us by the bloody US government. But apparently, allegedly, this guy died during some sort of an incident that had happened due to the projection, and they actually they still were getting the camera, the footage fed back to them, and because he died, it's like you'd expect there would be no footage, but there was footage, and it was actual footage of heaven. So there you go. There's a bloody conspiracy theory for you. Likely harasser restricted. It's like, that's not a harasser, that's a bot. It's like free cock and ball torture at this site. It's like, no thanks, I got plenty of that at home. I got plenty of that with the Watcherites right here. Do they have more health? Because... Or do they just not have a time limit on the amount of time that it takes for the next knights to go? Because I thought it was a rule that... Maybe it is, there's a time limit unless... But if you beat the time limit, then it just automatically goes to the next phase. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I didn't mean to do that one. I've always wanted to use that spell. Do you think that we go somewhere when we die, or do we just? I don't know. And I don't know if believing something about that would change anything, and so I don't think you necessarily can believe that. Well, I suppose the only thing that I do believe is that I don't know. I suppose that's the answer. It might be like a cryptic and vague and frustrating answer, but... Ah! So you're on the same boat as me, as in, I don't know. Yeah, basically... It's a decent boat to be in, because... it means there's nothing to be alarmed about. I think realistically, if there was a heaven, then, like, if heaven does exist, then obviously it would be something that everybody would want to get to. And obviously we would want to know how to get there. I think the only way that we can posit that it is possible to get there is by living the best life that we can. And so, it really doesn't answer any questions. It's like, well, now we're stuck on the same problem we started on, which is, you know, what is living the best life that we can? And I think, you know, it's integrating your shadow. It's, you know, uniting all of the sub-personalities that we know that we've got The psychoanalysts helped us come to that conclusion. Oh, that was close. It's like, you know, becoming one in a way. I think the Buddhists have a pretty decent... Well, mostly. I think the Buddhists who do, like, living mummification are pretty off. Like the Buddhists have some good ideas about that. I think the Christians have a decent idea about that. The Jews have a decent idea about that. Obviously all of those people can get off at a certain point or another, but you know, won't we all? I think it's, you know, the quest for meaning in a way. And if you can figure out what meaning, you know, how meaning can manifest itself in yourself, then I don't think there's any possible way, because it's like, I don't know, you want to reach that sort of level of enlightenment. I think that's like the only way to kind of get there, and you can only really get there by uniting yourself in a way. Like, I don't think you can be, you know, I don't know, hateful or out of order or, you know, imperfect in any way in order to get to whatever heaven would theoretically be. It's like you've got to be really figured out, and so it's like, you know, the only kind of thing that says about, you know, the best life that you can live is, you know, figure out, you know, what truly quit it. Like, figure out what truly is making you whole. And it's not just like being removed from adversity, I suppose. Like, it's being removed from imperfection more so. Imperfection in yourself, because you can't guarantee it in others, I suppose. I don't know. It's a big, big bloody confusing question, isn't it? It's the question, isn't it? I think the correct answer to any of that question always will, any question of that caliber perhaps, should always begin with, I don't bloody well know, do I? But I better have a decent guess at it. I think the only thing that you can really say as a relatively well put together person is that whatever happens when you die is going to be good. It's going to be better for you than even whatever the greatest thing that was for you in life, you know? Do you think that any Bibler 100% believes in heaven? Operating off of the same definition of believe, in the sense that it means that you must therefore, you know, act it out, I don't think they do. I think anybody, if they could truly believe in heaven, I don't think they would ever sin again. And, you know, sin sort of being the definition of the archery term to miss your mark, you know. It's like, you would never mess up on anything ever again. And I don't think in that sense it's, perhaps it's possible, but it's not plausible to believe in heaven. I think people who, I think what can be said of the vast majority of Biblers, oh bloody hell, is that they want to believe in heaven. You know, they hope it to be true, and therefore they do attempt to be as good as they can manage, I suppose. But oh yeah, I didn't comment on this White Lady says it's a wonderful thing to being able to face challenges and overcome them. A strong, perseverant will is the mark of a good person. Pale King says, if it has a will of its own, then I revoke its right to bones. True. That is the way that he think. I don't know, but yeah, you know, people who, yeah, believe in the Bible or, you know, whatever form of scripture that actually does posit a heaven, they want to believe that a heaven exists, but I don't know, it's hard to bring about. When it comes to whatever the state of being that is heaven, I think it's possible to exist, but it's very difficult to get to because the natural state of life, the natural state of being is hell. And I want to believe in heaven, but I don't. But I sure as hell believe in hell because I've seen it. And I've been there before, you know, like anybody who's really been through the ringer has been there before. And, you know, it has infinite depth. It can go infinitely down, but, you know, there's no infinite down without an infinite up. So I do think that heaven does theoretically exist. It's just a lot easier to attain hell than heaven. I mean, if you really want to put yourself in hell, you could set fire right now. You know, like you could put yourself in hell right now willingly. You could go out and threaten people. You could, like, it's really easy to immediately put yourself in hell. Just, you know, slap a loved one across the face and you'll see what hell you will bring about, you know. It's like I certainly believe in hell, and it's easier to believe in hell because it's easier to see, but I don't know. Perhaps I don't believe in it in a literalistic sense. In an what do you call it? In archetypical sense, I certainly believe in it. That's for sure. But I don't know. I generally don't like literalistic things in general. But yeah. Where was I going with that? Like heaven is something that we want to be able to try to bring about, and it takes a lot more work and effort to bring about than hell. It actually doesn't. I mean, you can bring about you can dig really deep into hell if you put a lot of work into that. But you know, it's really easy to go to, like, it's I don't know. It's easy to fall face first into the ground, right? It's much more difficult to fly. The natural state of things is to be down. It's difficult to be up. So I guess that's kind of the way that I put it. Like I was thinking about this, if anybody truly believed in heaven, and especially if they believed that, you know, the heaven that they could get to was infinitely better, then they would not be doing plenty of the things that they do. And so it's like, you know, I can't really say that I believe in heaven in that sense then, truly, because it's like, I don't know, if I believed in heaven, or more specifically, if I believed in God, then it's like I would never do any of the things that I know that I shouldn't. It's like, I know that I shouldn't be doing that, but I still end up doing it. Why is that, right? Like, I think this is something that everybody can kind of relate to in a sense. It's like, if you truly believe that, you know, there was that place to get to, you would drop absolutely everything in your life that distracts you, that you find pleasurable in the here and the now, and you would never touch it. You never pick it up again. You know, you just be gone. It's like, no, I'm out of here. That's pointless. I've got places to be, you know. It's like, I would be terrified to screw up again, to the degree that perhaps I would never do it again, or perhaps I would spend a really long time meditating, and I suppose that's sort of what prayer is, in a sense, is asking, you know, lay bare all of my flaws so that I may remedy them. You know, it's like you probably would do that, and you could probably do that for the rest of eternity, and you might die doing so. I don't know, but once you emerge from that, you're going to be a lot better equipped to bring about some sort of a Garden of Eden about yourself, and you know, that's what we all kind of strive for in a way, I think. So it's like, you know, we want to believe. If we truly did, we'd get our act together. I suppose is the best way that I could put that. I think the concept of heaven is boring, and more boring than just not existing anymore. That's an interesting way to put it. The idea of a paradise, I suppose you're saying, like, the idea of a paradise, of a perfect place where there is no imperfection, nothing to learn, nothing to do, nothing to enrich yourself with. It seems boring. I think I would agree with that if that's what you mean. We need constant progression, or at least we are built in the way that requires constant progression. And if you don't have it, then you really quickly will degenerate into being, in the very least, depressed. At the very most, straight up genocidal. Like if you just sit there doing nothing for long enough, and it's like, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not doing anything, I'm serving no purpose. I think we need purpose, and we need to turn chaos into order in order to have that sort of a purpose. But in that sense, heaven would be really if it's just nothing but order, then I think that idea would certainly be boring, because there's no progression from there. But I think in the sense that heaven is an incomprehensible good, it is literally all that is good, then I don't think boring even factors into that necessarily, because it's like, is there anything to do? It's like, well, there's everything. And who cares about doing at that point? Because there is no need for doing. There's just everything. I don't know. Maybe it's just a little too. It's tough to comprehend. So we want to become literalistic about it. But I don't necessarily think that is the question that's a question that we truly want to ask. Is what is heaven truly like? It's like, I don't know, if you could begin to comprehend perhaps a fraction of what that would be, then perhaps you would never want to be on this earth ever again. You'd be like, no, I'm meant to be eternal. I'm not meant to be temporal. I kind of hate the temporal world now. I feel like I've kind of been that way in my entire life to a degree. Not in a depressing sense, but just in the sense of, like, I don't like time and the passage thereof. I don't like that. I don't like being a temporal being. I've always kind of felt as though I'm supposed to belong, somewhere else, I suppose. But it's like, you just don't, it's like, not existing anymore, if anything, like that would be, I don't know, again, boring doesn't really factor into that, because if you don't exist, then there is nothing to be bored about. Being bored is what happens when you aren't confronting some form of chaos and turning it into order. When you're not learning something or other, when you're not doing something or other, when you're not achieving anything, when you are staying in the same place for any given moment in time, it's like, no, this is boring, I'm not doing anything, nothing's going on. Whereas, like, I don't know, when you don't exist, there is no need to know that. No, there's no ability to know that. There's no way for you to even categorize what is or isn't boring. Like, in the same way that, if there was no life on Earth, it would just be a rock. It's like, yeah, I suppose you could call that really boring, but you could also see that there's a lot of potential in that, in the sense that it represents a lot of chaos to turn into order. I don't know. It's like, I could do a hell of a lot with an entire planet's worth of literal space to do, to play with. It's like, I could do a whole lot with that. But I don't know. It's like, I just don't exist anymore. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem possible, because so in a metaphysical sense, this is metaphysics here, so bear with me. This is pretty intense philosophical waters we're about to tread into, and maybe I'll keep it as short as I possibly can. But you've got you, and you know that you are a collection of sub-personalities that are all kind of they wish to be in order, and they wish to have all of their needs met. So there's this sort of rageful aspect, and there's this sort of worrying aspect, and there's the fear, and all of these biological systems that are united into one to bring about consciousness. And consciousness, in a evolutionary biological sense, is at least what you what your species has put together to be able to figure out what it's to worry about the future, and how to ensure that you are doing well. And that you can be you remember the bad things that happened before and the good things that will happen in the future. Or I don't know, you have a vision for what the way you want things to be, and you change that. That's sort of what consciousness is. But if consciousness exists, then it must therefore be something corporeal that exists in some sort of a sense, rather than just because we know that no matter can be created nor destroyed. So how is it possible that you could come into being as something that can think, and something that can see, and something that can dream, and something that can do all of the things that you do, the near infinite amount of possibility, of potential that you are? How could it be possible that you could fade into nothing once the physical form of you departs from this earth? I don't think that is possible. And I don't think that it's possible for us to be conscious without us being something more than just the body that we inhabit. Because if it was just the body, well, I don't know, you destroy the body and you disintegrate everything, and whatever that body did before, it can't do again anymore because it's gone, it's disintegrated, it's, back to the dust from whence it came. It's like, well, okay, that makes sense. But if we were just machines, then there would not be any consciousness there. I don't think consciousness is an illusion. I think consciousness is what we are. I think information is what we are. I think information is what life is. And where there is information, there is someone or something to communicate that information. And I don't see that as some sort of a negotiable thing that can just be like conjured up and disappeared at whim. I see that as matter. I think that's all that matter really exists to be, is information. Because without information, without consciousness to actually see it, then effectively the matter itself does not effectively exist. So I don't think that it is possible for you to cease existing. I think you certainly cease existing on the plane of existence that we see, but I think there are wavelengths. They exist on different wavelengths. Bloody Mandela catalog. I think there are different dimensional structures that we reside within, and there are things that we don't see, that we only can see the effects of, and we can only interact with, offhandedly or indirectly. But just because that we can't touch them doesn't mean that they're not there, because the effects thereof are implicit in everything around us. Actually, I think they're explicit in everything around that's around us. So I think it's a physical, corporeal thing that exists beyond what we can actually see, and perceive and comprehend to a degree. But we still have a notion for how it functions and why it exists, or at least what we do as a result of that. We have an intrinsic sense of how there is that sort of spark of divinity. It's like every living thing effectively. What I'm talking about is the soul. It is something that is corporeal. It is something that is physical. The only evidence that I have that is the case is that we behave as though that is the case. And there's no getting around that. What the soul is it's the information of everything that makes up who we are in a metaphysical sense, and we have to behave in the sense as though that exists. Because if we don't behave deterministically. I think actually the design of us is in order to behave deterministically. But we can't treat ourselves as though we are just matter that's just roaming around, just some meatball that doesn't have any sort of a free will. It's like you have to treat it that way. I don't know. It's rough, but if you were nothing, you wouldn't think, and therefore you are something. And if you are something, then you cannot be destroyed and turned to nothing. I don't think it's possible for whatever it is that is what we are beyond the physical nature of what we are, in this plane of existence. I don't think that it is at all feasible that, at all plausible to posit that whatever that may be ceases to exist when the physical form of us ceases to exist. I don't think that is possible in any sort of a meaningful way. And if it were possible, then I think that would be a hell of a lot more boring than the fact that there is another frontier out there where there are things beyond our capability, beyond our imagination, beyond our wildest dreams, beyond our, comprehension to be able to see and to interact with. Like, I think that's a hell of a lot more, obviously chaotic, but a hell of a lot less boring than there just being nothing afterwards. So if we're talking about whether or not it's boring, it's like, well, infinite, thinking that there is something out there, whether or not it's heaven in whatever sense that we want to say, but that there's something that happens afterwards is certainly less boring than there being nothing. Because if there's nothing, then that obviously is going to be more boring than there being something. It's like, I put on the TV and I show you, hey, I'm going to show you this movie that I made, and it's just 2 hours of black screen. It's like, that is boring. There's nothing to do there. There is nothing there. There's nothing for me to do with that. There's nothing bouncing off my brain here. But if I actually throw up something that I actually did make, or that someone else makes, an actual story, in the very least visuals, something, then, or maybe something that is so chaotic and so incredible, and so like maybe it's like a some sort of a horror, I don't know, it's a recording of somebody's bad psychedelic trip. Like, it's like, that's a lot of chaos, but it sure as hell isn't boring in comparison to literally just 2 hours of black screen, or an infinity of black screen. So, having an infinity of hell to follow afterlife is surely going to be less boring. I don't think it's going to be preferable, obviously, but yeah, if we're talking about boring or not boring, I think the idea of something is less boring than nothing, because nothing is kind of by definition boring. But maybe it makes life a little more interesting if you think that there is nothing afterwards. I don't know. I suppose this kind of gets along to what they talk about in Signs, the M. Night Shyamalan movie. And I think I didn't rate that movie quite as high as I should have, because it's actually pretty bloody magnificent. But that's what they talk about. It's just like, there's two types of people. There's people who believe that there is meaning, and there are people who believe that there is no meaning. And it's like, I think we have to believe that there is meaning, even if it's hard to see, because if we give up on any sort of a semblance of meaning, then that's why people ask, what's the point? What does it mean? It's like, what's the purpose? What's the takeaway here? And it's like, if life is pointless, then there's no point in having it. So if there's no meaning, then there's no point, and we may as well just give up right now. But I don't know. I don't think that is something that we should embrace. I think we should embrace that there is meaning in the very least. And, if we can find that there's meaning, then I think if there is meaning, then there therefore must be something beyond the temporal realm. That was about 20 minutes, I think, of rambling on that question. But yeah. Are you actually, Saya? Are you actually my bloody Twitter mutual? Or are you just, is that just some kind of you know, funny coincidence there. Anyhow, I ought to be getting along. It's hot enough in here, and I really ought to go to sleep so I can go to work in the morning. So I shall bid you adieu. But that was a fun stream. I defeated a boss. I suppose I defeated 2 fights, but either way, it's fun stuff. So, yeah. See you later then. Stop recording.